Wish there was more we could do to help them.
Heartbroken.
Awful. Too many of them.
It is. I see them all the time.
I think it's probably a problem nationwide.
I think it's a shame that someone that has served our country is now homeless and without a job.
Mine is the thing that happened in Florida about the guy getting thrown in jail for feeding them, which is next up.
Retired, and I've always been involved in different charities. I've always felt that it was important to support our community and give back. So I started this nonprofit. We actually opened the transitional housing program in October of 2013, and I am the founder of Veteran Attorney Home. Being in the homeless arena, I did my research to find out what the crises, if you will, was in the homeless. I found that's when I realized that our veterans were in trouble. So that's what brought me to do something to make a difference for our vets.
My name's James.
Neil.
Vietnam.
I was a Vietnam era vet, but I spent my tour on a nuclear submarine up in the Norwegian Sea.
I have a beautiful family, just run into some hard times, and thanks to Sandy here, she's done so much for right from the word go, she's just been so helpful.
I found myself in a homeless program when I had to get out of my sister's house. That was it. There was a conflict. My mother passed away. My sister, she kind of went off a rocker. It's like I had to get away or I was going to kill her. So I decided I did the worst of two, or the lesser of two evils, and checked that.
Well, just trying to get rid of pictures that are not necessary to carry around with you. It's like, when you want to edit something out, you have to know how to edit something, get rid of, negative thoughts.
I think that I didn't know that our veterans were in so much trouble until I started really researching the issues that our veterans are having, the suicide rate, the high level percentage of homeless veterans, the difficulties that they were having in transitioning from their military careers to private sector. There's a real disconnect that's a problem, and our veterans just need that extra assistance in helping them transition back to civilian life.
Our job was to remain undetected. The world wasn't to know where we were. You ever seen the movie Crimson Tide?
Mm-hmm.
You know the difference between that movie and the way it was?
What's that?
Once we got permission to launch, there was no argument about it. Those birds going in the air. Now you know what I did.
Yep.
That's exactly what I did.
All right.
I think that the government makes a very gallant effort. They truly want to. I just think that there's probably too many layers of political policies in place to make it the programs really accessible to the veterans. It's politics. It's what our government does, and they don't take a direct common sense approach. I don't think that it's any incompetence on anyone's part. It's just the way the government is. It's big and it's cumbersome and it's difficult for the veteran to maneuver through all the different layers of and parameters of the programs that are in place. So that's where I think the big disconnect is. The money's there for them. The programs are in place. Some of them aren't perfect. Some of them need to be adjusted. And I think the government is willing to look at what they need to do to fix it. There's just too big of a problem with too many layers.
Not as well as they should.
It's a problem all over the United States. It's not just veterans in a certain section of the country or anything like that. Our veterans are in serious trouble now. For me personally, what I felt is that there are billions of dollars of government funds and private foundation monies in the pipeline, if you will, to help our veterans. But the programs that are in place today don't work. The system's broken. So I felt that with my business experience and my heart and intention in the right place, I felt that that I might be able to make a difference in implementing systems, at least here in Macomb County, to really make a big impact, a big difference, and not just talk about how we're going to help the vets. Let's just get in there and do it using a very common sense, direct approach. If it's broken, you fix it and address the issues and get them jobs, get them into permanent housing, those kinds of things. No, I believe that because I was guilty myself. I mean, we all, the everyday average citizen, we hear, our veterans need our support, and we get that. Most of us just think that, it's like, our veterans have done so much, we should give back. But until I did my actual due diligence and researched and dug into what was going on, and even once I opened this program, didn't realize until I was in the thick of it how much trouble our veterans are having. When we bought this building, we closed on this building on August 1st of 2013. It took us until October to get our occupancy permit in order to be able to house veterans here. We got our first homeless veteran came through our doors on August 3rd. He had been sleeping on the bench outside of Checkers fast food for 3 weeks. It's been almost overwhelming from day one.
Well, it's like prisoners of war, financial warfare, class warfare, and a lot of people, they get caught up in the wrong business and the things and make the wrong decisions, and we end up, how do you want to say it? Class difference.
Yeah, I think that most of us, most people in general, most of us are good people. We all know that we want to give and make a difference. I just think that there's just not enough awareness of truly how much trouble our veterans are in. If people knew, they would really, and even now, people that try to help me here at Vets Returning Home, it's frustrating sometimes because people say, well, I want to do something for the veterans. What can I do? And I say, well, this is an actual conversation. I said, well, we're having a really difficult time covering the gas bill. We just had to turn the furnaces on. It's cold here, and gas bill is going to be about $2,000. And we don't have the money to pay that gas bill. And they said, well, no, we wanted to do something for the veterans themselves, like, maybe hats and coats and gloves and long johns. And I said, well, yeah, they're going to need that when we can't pay the gas bill, because it's going to get cold in here. People don't really understand how difficult, especially a program like this, how difficult it is to run this without government funds. and how expensive it can be. But like I said, if we all do a little, then we can get the job done. It takes a lot to do a little, a lot of people to do a little. I think every one of us can do something. Some can do more than others, and some can give time, some can give money, some can give intelligence, but we can all do something, whether it's donating used clothing, whether it's volunteering your time, whether it's doing little fundraisers. I know when I first opened this program, my grandson was 6 years old, and his Cub Scout troop did a canned food drive. They showed up here on a Sunday with 1,000 cans of food. These are little 6-year-olds, and those 1,000 cans of food did a lot to feed our homeless veterans.